Chapter 58, 58 Assessment. Junior brother, you're taking the test for the Void Blade Qualification Certificate. That requires 4th rank. Wait, you've broken through 4th rank already. Shiruyu approached with a look of surprise on her petite face. Yes, he's at 4th rank now. How about that quick, right? Jai Xuantong somewhat proudly said, feeling the fulfillment and sense of achievement that others wouldn't understand, seeing the talented individual he had discovered grow and evolve. Shiruyu showered Lu Chenju with continuous praise. Fast, junior brother is too fast. I really didn't expect it. I thought he'd reach 4th rank in his 2nd year. I really underestimated junior brother's speed. Jai Xuantong stood up and said, All right, tell Lu Chenju about the test. I'm going to call my teacher and see if I can get Lu Chenju on the potential genius list. Teacher, are you talking about the key focus list? What, you're already on it? I just got in not long ago. I was about to tell you. Jai Xuantong paused for a moment, then smiled. The school's efficiency isn't bad, pretty good. You won't be lacking in basic martial arts supplements for cultivation anymore. Strive to break through to 5th rank by the 1st semester of your 2nd year. As long as he maintained a pace of 1 rank per semester, Lu Chenju would be at 8th rank before the college entrance exam, not falling short of his daughter Jai Feiyan, perhaps even having more potential. He always felt that Lu Chenju had the potential to awaken the martial bone, Dao embryo. Old Jai was internally delighted, and excitedly went to report his achievements to Kingshan Kang. Inside the martial arts room, only Lu Chenju and his senior sister Shiruyu were left. The basic requirements for the novice certificate test are all on the official website. First is actual combat, 2nd is martial virtue, 3rd is basic knowledge about void things. Let me share with you my insights from passing the test. The hardest part is the actual combat, because it's not just a test of physical fighting skills, but even more so a test of your spiritual will. If your will is not firm, facing the void things and having your mind eroded, having a void blade will be of no use. By 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Lu Chenju left the martial arts hall. Chenju, keep a calm mind and you'll pass. Jai Xuantong stood at the door with his arms folded. Junior brother, do your best. Shiruyu smiled slightly. Someone said, I'm envious. Brother Lu already has the qualifications to face void things directly. From now on, he won't have to worry about bumping into them on a night walk. Just chop them down with 1 slice. Du, recalling his own experiences, felt more resolute in his heart. Old Zhang too was smiling. Lu Chenju had already agreed to join his app, and when the time came, he planned to package and promote Xiao Lu, aiming to attract new users. His target audience was ordinary people with low-class root bones. Don't let root bones be your shackles. Martial arts where everyone can be as powerful as a dragon. He had even thought up the slogan, determined to prove something very cliché in front of those so-called talented individuals with superior root bones. Do not underestimate the youth who is poor. Qin Zheng watched Lu Chenju's retreating figure, planning to persuade his family to invest in Lu Chenju and buy him a void blade in advance. Knowing Lu Chenju's character, he would surely not accept it, so it would be lent for temporary use, and he could pay it back when he had the money. He had witnessed the rise of his brother firsthand. If not now, when would be the time to bet? His family's only connection in Sioux City's martial arts world was Jai Xuantong, and with the addition of Lu Chenju, they would be even more secure. As evening approached, the Void Management Office of Sioux District. Under the sunset glow, Lu Chenju stepped out of the car. It's 5:30, they close at 6. He had hurried along and finally made it in time. He had already booked today's test in advance with the citizen's all-in-one card, and the guard uncle glanced at it and let him pass. The guard uncle was also a 3rd-rank martial practitioner. Looking at Lu Chenju, he exclaimed, Coming for the test at such a young age, you've got guts. Although the requirements for the test stated that one must be at 4th rank, not many had dared to participate so far, because the actual combat test meant facing void things directly. Name: Lu Chenju. Age: 16 years old. Affiliation: Dragon City High School. The registering staff member looked up. A high school student. Can I take the test? You can, but since you're still a minor, even though you're a 4th-rank martial artist, strong enough to wrestle lions and tigers, you still need a guardian's consent. The staff member said with a smile. Lu Chenju handed over the consent form that his foster parents had prepared in advance. To persuade them, he had put in a lot of effort over the past few days. The staff member confirmed it was correct. Hold on a moment, we need to inspect the testing venue. Shortly after, all examinees please follow me. A uniformed young lady led Lu Chenju to a circular building with a peculiar design that was quite different from conventional structures. Shiruyu had said the exterior was wrapped in a special material that could prevent void things from escaping. The circular building had a diameter of about 100 meters and only 2 doors connecting it to the outside world. Examinees had to enter through the front door and then exit through the back door to be considered successful. Are you ready? I am, the young lady introduced. Just step into the light curtain in front of the door and you'll enter the simple maze we've designed. There might be void things hidden in some areas, but don't worry, they're just the weakest floating level void things, and we have them under control. With your 4th rank cultivation, your life is not in danger. There are challenges set up in certain parts of the maze, and if you pass them, you can obtain different types of low-level civilian void blades. You can use these blades to defend against void things in the maze and gain opportunities to escape. If you perform exceptionally, there are additional rewards. Remember, making it through the maze is victory. Lu Chenju took a deep breath. I'm going in. It was impossible to be completely calm, but knowing void things were present somehow lessened the fear of the unknown, and Lu Chenju wasn't very afraid. The round alloy door slowly opened, and a blue light screen enveloped the entrance. This seemed similar to the devices on the Teiyu side. Lu Chenju stepped inside, and a chill hit him. It felt as if he had suddenly entered a dark, damp basement reeking of decay from a sunny place. Ordinary void things could only survive in such an environment. It looks almost like a haunted house in here. Lu Chenju looked at the dilapidated and gloomy ancient house before him. The wind blew through the collapsed wooden gate, leading to an overgrown courtyard, creaking eerily. Bang! The door through which he had entered was now closed. He looked at the communicator on his wrist. If he couldn't hold on anymore, he could call for help. He walked into the courtyard. Wood piles accumulated in the corners, the kitchen walls blackened with soot, and between 2 jujube trees, a swing moved slightly, as if someone had lived here for a long time. Swoosh! Lu Chenju felt a cold breeze. His back tensed like a tiger ready to pounce, and his hair stood on end. With his 4th rank aura erupting, he twisted his body, his right hand cleaving through air, turning to strike at the heart if someone was behind him. Slap! There's nothing there. Lu Chenju looked at the empty space around him, the creaking sound ringing in his ears, causing irritable feelings. The unknown was the most terrifying. Sigh. Lu Chenju regulated his breathing slightly. He went straight to the main room, which felt the most eerie. Just as he entered, the broken door, seemingly touched by the wind, swung shut leisurely. Surely some mechanism had been triggered. From the corner of his eye, he caught a glimpse of a white shadow flitting beneath the dust-laden bed. Lu Chenju remembered Du's experience. He had been chased by an unknown white shadow that seemed capable of creating illusions, awakening one's deepest fears. Lu Chenju didn't look under the bed. Instead, he surveyed the room and spotted a pair of gloves in a corner. Keeping an eye on his surroundings, he picked up the gloves and dusted them off. Test equipment do not take away. Violators will be prosecuted. Chapter 59, 59 Fierce Tiger. The text in the game calmed Lu Chenju's mind considerably. The atmosphere of terror here was so well crafted that sometimes people unconsciously forgot it was just an examination. Ooh, creak, creak. The wooden door and another bizarre sound mixed together, and a cold wind attacked from behind. Lu Chenju knew the void thing had appeared again and was waiting for an opportunity to strike. He put on his gloves unhurriedly. They fit just right. Suddenly, a cold and sticky hand touched Lu Chenju's shoulder. Through the reflection on the bracelet's display, he saw that blurred white figure. This was the most common and weakest void thing, a white floating spirit. Its level, floating, also gave it its name. Knowledge prepared for the exam flashed through his mind. Lu Chenju's body involuntarily trembled instinctively, as the chill as if tried to paralyze his limbs, making him want to move but difficult to act, like being pressed down by a ghost. He visualized the shape of the black tiger, and with his gloved right hand he caught something. It felt as if he had grabbed a surge of cold water from thin air. His tiger claw plunged fiercely into it, and a shriek resounded through the hall, sending shivers down one's spine. So this is what it feels like to grapple with void things. At this moment, he completely treated it as a regular enemy. His fourth-rank chi blood and black tiger dark strength burst forth, using the shaking force from the 8 techniques to knock the void thing away, followed by a shoulder throw. Naturally, void things cannot be thrown to death. Lu Chenju pinned it down with one hand against the ground as a stationary point. His other hand, like a black tiger claw, kept tearing at the unstable white shadow. Piercing shrieks filled his head. Despite this, his black tiger fist was at great success, and every move was like a fierce tiger. He tightly clenched his prey and would not let go. No matter what kind of demons and ghosts, he would beat them all to death with his wild punches. This was his momentum. Time ticked by second by second. Half an hour later, Lu Chenju was still tearing at the void thing. This phantom entity seemed to have inexplicable strength as it nearly escaped his tiger claw several times. His forehead was sweaty, and he frowned. Why is this ghostly thing so hard to kill? Right then, a voice sounded from his bracelet. Hey, 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 the examinee can stop now. You have passed the examination. The entire examination site was under miniature surveillance, and the invigilator had seen everything Lu Chenju did. He didn't let go of the void thing and asked in confusion, I passed. Shouldn't it be considered a pass only after I leave the maze from the back? The voice from the bracelet paused for a moment before responding. Normally, that's the case, and that's what everyone does. However, you're almost killing the void thing, so passing the examination isn't a problem either. Lu Chenju then asked, Should I let go now? Let it go and put the gloves back where you found them. This void thing has been specially processed by us. Even an ordinary person who's slightly stronger wouldn't have a problem, let alone a martial artist of your 4th rank. It's not easy for us to use these special void things for examination props. It would be quite troublesome if you actually killed it. However, the void things you encounter outside will definitely be more powerful than this one, so if you run into one, you should escape and then call the police. Even with a void blade with your 4th rank strength, you'd only be able to injure the void thing. Killing it is particularly difficult, and other accidents may occur during this time. Have you got it, examinee? Lu Chenju took the lesson and said embarrassedly, I'm sorry, I understand now. He almost damaged a prop from the Void Management Bureau. No matter the cost of the void thing, he wouldn't be able to afford it. He remembered that Shiruyu had also mentioned this when imparting her experiences. Just repel the void thing and then quickly evacuate. There's no need to engage in a drawn-out battle. Learn from the lesson. I think I was influenced by the tiger form. Lu Chenju murmured to himself. When he was fully focused on performing the tiger form fist, he wouldn't think of anything else but to tear his enemy to shreds with his tiger claw. He walked out of the courtyard to the entrance, passing through the blue light screen, and returned to the warm and normal world, where a gentle breeze blew and birds chirped, incredibly refreshing. Within and outside the door, 2 different worlds. This is the human world, where void things should not exist. Lu Chenju sighed inwardly. Having passed the practical combat examination, he completed the martial virtue and void thing knowledge examination smoothly, and the Void Management Bureau was highly efficient in issuing his certificates. A middle-aged woman handed the blade certificate to Lu Chenju. If you lose it, apply for a replacement with the electronic certificate. Don't forget the annual inspection. The void blade is meant to combat void things and must not be used unlawfully or improperly. Additionally, here are 2 boxes of chi boosting 1. You performed well and the leadership is very satisfied. Thank you. Lu Chenju took the medicine, an unexpected boon. He opened the certificate. Virtual blade holding electronic certificate, civilian level. Name Lu Chenju. ID number SCPJ // 22,050,101. Level amateur 4th rank. Authorized void blade level, low level. Validity 10 years from the date of issue. Annual inspection passed. Lu Chenju put away the certificate and left with long strides. His next goal was just one, to save money. At the entrance to the special bureau, a black modified Land Rover pulled up, and a towering, muscular man in police uniform got out, exchanging a glance with Lu Chenju who was leaving. Something stirred within Lu Chenju's heart. Evil Tiger Lu Feng. Feeling that same sense of oppression upon seeing the burly man again, especially after his black tiger fist had achieved great success, He could distinctly sense that this man was a strong practitioner of the tiger form fist. He decided to ask Cha Chihu about this person's background later. Lu Feng watched the youth walk away, a trace of memory seeming to surface. Yeah, when he was the young man's age, he had already torn apart countless void things with his bare hands. Back then, there wasn't high-tech gear like virtual blades. He had come to the special bureau on business today, and upon entering he asked the young man who just left, did he pass the test? Seeing who had arrived, the staff member quickly stood up and said with a smile, "He passed, but that young man was quite fierce. He almost killed our prop void thing. What's up? Is he someone you know, Officer Lu?" "Don't know him, just asking." Lu Feng's face remained expressionless, his heart calm. "This young man, he's got something." The night deepened. Lu Chenju took the subway home. Martial Arts Society group chat. "Qin Zheng, Chenju, how did it go? Did you pass?" "Lu Chenju, I passed." "Lai Linling, junior brother, is impressive." "Qin Zheng, impressive? Wasn't the practical exam supposed to be about getting out of a maze filled with void things? Weren't you scared at all?" "Lu Chenju, I didn't finish the maze." "Qin Zheng, then how did you pass?" "Lu Chenju, almost killed a void thing, so they let me pass." The two in the chat fell silent. After a while, Qin Zheng's call came through. "Chenju, have you bought a virtual blade?" "I can't afford it." Including the 100,000 from old Zhang today, Lu Chenju's savings totaled a mere 130,000. He usually didn't have many expenses, so he could save most of what he earned. "Bro, how about I sponsor you?" After leaving the station, Lu Chenju walked along the street, his mind pondering. Qin Zheng said he could lend the money to Lu Chenju to buy a virtual blade, and his dad agreed. Lu Chenju could pay him back when he was financially able. This made Lu Chenju unclear about Qin Zheng's intentions, as he wasn't even a martial artist yet. It didn't seem worth it for the Qin family to invest in him like this. He didn't rush to agree. After all, there's no such thing as a free lunch. His plan to purchase a virtual blade was, once he secured first place in the Martial Arts Academy exchange competition, his savings could reach 230,000. After old Zhang's app launched, he could also earn some money by tutoring on rest days. He had been looking at various martial arts competitions in Sioux City, and if he qualified, he'd sign up. This way, he could hope to gather 500,000 to buy a pair of void-breaking gloves by the end of the year. This type of virtual blade did minimal damage to void beings, which he had already seen for himself. But they were cheap and could be used for self-protection in the meantime. As for taking up Martial Arts Association's legal assistance bounty tasks to earn rewards, Lu Chenju felt it was too premature, as these tasks posed risks to fourth-rank martial artists. He'd wait until he was stronger. After all, making money wasn't as important as life. "Go on, I'm not interested." Lu Chenju's thoughts were interrupted by an argument nearby. At the unstaffed street corner, a young lady was surrounded by two men who were smiling and saying something to her. "Ma'am, we're only bothering you for a moment. Are you part of a cult?" "Cult? What cult?" "Ma'am, don't talk nonsense, we're just handing out flyers. If you don't want to listen, that's fine, but don't slander us." The woman fled in a hurry, calling her boyfriend to sob about the encounter. "My dear, I was just harassed by two sleazy men." The two men watched the young man who had just passed by, his tall stature signaling trouble, and decided to find another target. They felt so wronged. They weren't part of a cult. They had just taken a part-time job online distributing flyers for a beauty company called Beautiful Life. Earning money is hard these days. After leaving the men's site, Lu Chenju looked ahead at the Stone Lake Garden residential complex with some concern. Could those two have something to do with a cult? He took out his phone and dialed the anti-cult department. Better to report just in case, better safe than sorry. Especially since it was too close to his home. Otherwise, he wouldn't want to get involved. After all, it wasn't certain they were part of a cult. Chapter 60, Glove 60. You're saying you suspect someone is proselytizing offline. I'm just guessing. I saw a lady surrounded by two men handing out flyers. Whether it's true or not isn't clear. You could do an on-site investigation. All right, give me the address. Near Tianlin Street in Sejong District, it was just here. After hanging up the phone, Lu Chenju returned home. Whether it was a cult or not, he was uneasy with such people loitering near his home. Those two were ordinary people, no match for him at all. But in a society governed by law, the first rule of martial virtue A hero may not use martial force to break the law. Except under special circumstances, even a martial artist must not freely attack or kill ordinary people, as the abuse of private punishment could only lead to the breakdown of social order, leaving everyone insecure. Chenju, have you passed the assessment? I did. You scared the life out of me, Mom. To think the assessment involves pitting one's wits and bravery against void things, that's so dangerous. I looked it up, and there have been accidents during past assessments. Mom, accidents can happen to anything. Foreign presidents walking outside might even get killed by a falling turtle. The probability of an accident during the assessment is less than 1 in 10,000. Let's not talk about that. It's good that you passed. Lu Guoping, come out and take a look at our son's certificate. His ID photo looks pretty good. Stop watching that lousy ball game. Lu Guoping came out with great joy upon hearing this. Let me have a look. Hey, this is issued by the Void Control Department. It's worth more than my qualification certificate. You can't hang this up to make money, can you? No, that would be illegal, and it would be revoked if discovered. How do we buy a void blade? We're not buying it yet, it's too expensive. How much? Starts at 500,000. Let's wait then. Lu Chenju came home just to check on his parents. He hadn't been home for half a month, and he reminded them to be cautious about safety, not to open the door to strangers, and to consult with him in advance in case of any issues, so as to avoid being lured into a cult company. The economy was down, and many people had lost their jobs. He had seen quite a few cases where people, not being discerning when job hunting, were pulled into scam companies. It was necessary to be on guard. Many people thought that scammers used low-level tactics, but in reality, it was very easy to be deceived when facing it firsthand. I'm going now, Mom. I'm off, Dad. Go on, be safe, especially this late. Leaving home, Lu Chenju took a taxi downstairs and headed towards Fangshan. Passing by the street corner from earlier, he noticed police cars. The two men were questioned for a while before the police let them go. It seemed they were wrongfully accused. Not a cult. A flyer fluttered in the wind and stuck to the car window. Reject the inner consumption of women. Enjoy a beautiful life. Beautiful Life Cosmetic Surgery Hospital, top surgeon Chen Yangjing. There was a refined and handsome photo of a doctor on the flyer. He was said to be the best plastic surgeon in Sioux City. Lu Chenju took out his phone and searched for the hospital, discovering it was a normal cosmetic company with beauty hospitals nationwide. The information on Tianyancha also showed everything was in order, with all licenses and permits complete, no issues. Maybe I've been a bit overly suspicious lately. The next day, Lu Chenju got up at dawn and went to the zoo to watch the tigers. He was hoping for inspiration so he could master Tiger Supreme Fist sooner. After practicing 3 times, Lu Chenju was already covered in fine sweat. On the martial arts tree, the sweat that represented his effort poured down in torrents. Tiger Supreme Fist, beginner 6%, right arrow beginner 7%. It looks like I won't be proficient until next month. Now he had another second-class martial art to study, but he could not slack off in his cultivation of Black Tiger Fist. For third-class martial arts, perfection wasn't much more powerful than great success, and Lu Chenju was simply looking forward to nurturing a new divine seed. He hoped this would compound with his comprehension of fist techniques. While eating breakfast, Li Xianghua sent Lu Chenju a message. Chenju, there's a package for you at home. Lu Chenju's heart tightened, worried it might be from an offender. What is it? Where's it sent from? It doesn't say on the outside, but the return address is from the Martial Arts Association. The Martial Arts Association, then go ahead and open it. Lu Chenju couldn't think of what it might be. It's a pair of gloves, labeled void-breaking type civilian gloves, and there's also a void blade instruction and information sheet. Did you buy a void blade? Lu Chenju roughly understood. Mom, hold on to it for me, I'll ask around. He immediately phoned Qin Zheng. Qin Zheng, did you send a package to my house? It was obvious that Qin Zheng had just woken up and sounded groggy as he replied. Yes, did your parents receive it? I couldn't find your school's address, so I had to send it to your home instead. I actually wanted to buy the knife type, but they were out of stock. It's not that. How could I accept something worth hundreds of thousands from you? I appreciate the thought, but you should take it back, brother. I'll buy my own when I have the money. Qin Zheng chuckled. I didn't say it was a gift. I bought it for myself, but I'm not at 4th rank yet and can't use it. You use it for now, and you can give it back to me later. What? How did you buy it? You need a Void Blade qualification certificate to purchase that, right? Lu Chenju was baffled by Qin Zheng's move. There are always ways to buy, don't worry, it's the real deal. After some back and forth, Lu Chenju reluctantly accepted it. It wasn't that he was being pretentious, it was simply too valuable. They were only high school classmates, not relatives. Lu Chenju said earnestly. Qin Zheng, thanks, brother. I'll keep it for self-defense for now. Later on, you can either take it back or I can pay for it, but I definitely won't take your item for nothing. I'm going back to sleep, hanging up now. And man, you're so freakish, getting up at 5 in the morning just to practice fist technique. Are you even human? I've been up since 4 and finished training already. Enough, goodbye. After hanging up, Lu Chenju sent Li Xianghua the address of the Fangshan security office and asked her to flash deliver it there. He soon got the void-breaking gloves. Unpacking the exquisite package, it was the same type as the one Shiruyu had used, identical. Using scissors from his drawer, he tried cutting the gloves but couldn't even leave a scratch. It seemed that disarming an opponent barehanded wouldn't be a problem. Reportedly, it could even stop bullets. He put on the gloves. They did not hinder his fist technique practice or using his phone. Now armed, a sense of security naturally emerged. Reflecting on the sensation of pummeling those void things during the exam, there was an indescribable rush of exhilaration. Time flew by, and before he knew it, May 20th arrived. Tomorrow was the day of the Martial Arts Academy exchange competition. Over the past week, Lu Chenju methodically continued his fist technique practice and studies. Cha Chihu kept his word and gave Lu Chenju 3 extra lessons, secretly helping him out. Casually, Lu Chenju asked him if there were any other tiger form masters in Sioux City beside himself, and the first person Cha Chihu mentioned was the evil tiger. Lu Feng from Sioux City, top-class root bone. Studied at Hang City's Jiangnan-Wu University in the talents class, broke the first shackles at 17, the second at 24, and the third at 34. Now only 44 years old, he was one of Sioux City's most hopeful individuals to step into the Grandmaster realm, heading the Pingjiang precinct. He was considered one of the strongest in Sioux City's police force. Cha Chihu commented on this man. He carved out his own unique ghost tiger skill from the tiger form, a major talent. Chapter 61, 61 Unlucky Guy. This day, Lu Chenju was practicing punches on the training ground when suddenly a male student ran over to him. It was Liu Quanhai, whom he was not very familiar with and didn't remember well. Lu, can I ask you some questions? Go ahead and ask. I'm also at the critical point from small success to great success in Black Tiger Fist, but I always feel like I'm missing something. I think you just had a breakthrough and might have some experience. My experience might not necessarily apply to you, but you can refer to it. Lu Chenju shared his insights from his breakthrough to great success with him. Helping each other amongst classmates was appropriate, as Liu Huan had helped him a lot. In Liu Huan's words, everyone who walks out of this school is the network resource that ordinary people dream of because they could all possibly become martial artists. Lu Chenju thought this made sense. Being kind to others and maintaining good relationships was never a mistake. Even if you truly are a favored child of heaven, worlds apart from ordinary people, there's no need to put on a sour face. After listening, Liu Quanhai nodded repeatedly. He now completely respected Lu Chenju. If he hadn't diligently trained to reach the great achievement realm himself, he would not be capable of expressing such profound insights. Thank you, classmate. He thanked him several times and then went off to cultivate. Then I wish you an early entry into the 4th rank. Lu Chenju also offered his blessings. He could sense that, as his talent and strength were revealed, people around him visibly became more polite and friendly. Night 9 o'clock. Phew. After finishing his punches, Lu Chenju looked towards the martial arts tree. Swallow return fist, proficient 100%, right arrow mastery 1%. See sweeping body, mastery 79%, right arrow mastery 80%. The flying swallow see flying routine is basically formed. Lu Chenju took a glance at his phone before bed. He found that the martial arts class group of high school freshmen was still chatting in the middle of the night. After reading it, his expression became serious. Another life lost, and it's a student from Fangshan. A high school freshman from the Imperial Capital Martial Arts University had taken leave last night to handle some errands off campus. On the way, he encountered a cult member preaching and beat him up. Unexpectedly, the cult member had an accomplice hiding nearby, a fourth-rank Black Knight. With his third-rank cultivation, he stood no chance and was brutally killed by the Black Knight. The school authorities are now collaborating with the police to trace the murderer. This incident has blown up. Just now, the homeroom teacher, Yu Zheng, emphasized again in the group chat not to show off one's ability outside school and not to act rashly as a vigilante, especially in less crowded places, and leave it to the professionals. When Lu Chenju heard it, he felt a chill. He remembered the incident that night. Fortunate he was afraid of death, for he had silently moved far away before secretly calling the police. He was afraid of retaliation if those people heard him. He felt regret for this fellow student. A potential future martial artist gone just like that. The school and society suffered a loss, and his family was devastated. One must be careful and cautious when going out. The next day, 8 in the morning, Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. Today, there was a banner up at the entrance of the Martial Arts Hall. 20th Pingjiang District Martial Arts Academy Exchange Match Venue. This kind of small-scale martial arts academy exchange competition is generally organized by the local martial artist association of each district, and the prize money is also provided by the district association. The Martial Arts Association does not interfere. Inside the venue, a large competition stage had been set up. The Dezia Martial Artists Association has a universal standard for the stages of various martial arts events. Not to speak of those above the ranks of martial artists, the competition stage for rank entry matches should measure 12 meters by 12 meters. It was 0.8 meters high, surrounded by a railing. This kind of exchange competition didn't have many participants, and it could be finished in one day. The morning session was for junior groups, afternoon for youth groups, and evening for middle-aged groups. Lu Chenju planned to watch his own match, then watch his senior sister's youth group match in the afternoon, and then rush back to school for classes, not wasting any time. The audience had already gradually taken their seats, mainly consisting of students from various martial arts academies or their family and friends. Li Xianghua and Lu Guoping were there as well. They were having an earnest conversation with Jai Xuantong, full of words of thanks and gratitude. Okay, you guys take your seats. Thank you, Master Jai. The elderly couple, seeing Lu Chenju arrive, called him over to give some advice. Lu Guoping excitedly said, "Son, no more words needed. Focus on protecting yourself during the competition. Safety first, friendship second, ranking third. You have a long journey ahead." Li Xianghua was somewhat worried. Be very careful and concede if you must. Chenju was also helpless. He had assured the elders that nothing could possibly happen to him with his level of cultivation, but they continued to worry incessantly. The heart of a parent is indeed pitiful. You guys sit down, I'm going to talk with the master. Having reassured the elders, Chenju changed into the training clothes of Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall and joined Jai Xuantong. Jai Xuantong sized up Chenju and nodded in satisfaction. Made some progress. What's your chi blood value now? Last check before coming was 2.09. Jai Xuantong whispered. Just be cautious around Rain. His chi blood value has also broken too, and I'm uncertain if he's reached 4th rank yet. He's your toughest competitor. As for Wang Chang and Liu Qingyuan, they are probably not your match if they get serious, but try to last a few more moves to give Zhang Jiao and Wu Tian Lion some face. Don't hold back against Rain, give it your all. Back then, he had been quite beaten up by Giant Elephant Ricket. Now, it was imperative for Chenju to reclaim their honor. Old Jai was indeed a bit petty. I understand, Master. In the spectator seats, friends from Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall who weren't competing had taken their places. They had already started cheering for Chenju with banners and loud voices, creating quite a scene. This left competitors from other halls a bit perplexed. Per Jai Xuantong's instruction, the news of Chenju's breakthrough to 4th rank had not been disclosed. Many were still operating on outdated information. They had thought the leading figure in the youth division was from Du Academy and were surprised to find that Chenju received the loudest cheers upon arriving. Shiruyu said, "Junior brother, fight with spirit. From now on, people might forget your name, but they will never forget the impressiveness you display today. Thank you for the guidance, senior sister." On the training ground, Du was still warming up and practicing his fistwork, preparing to go on stage. He was dedicated, even though he knew that the youth division's protagonist was surely Chenju. Chenju, go for it. You too. Old Zhang, participating in the evening's adult division, ran over. Chenju, perform well and make it look good. I'll have someone edit your video, add some BGM and post it online. It's going to be a hit. Old Zhang had hired a professional team for this operation and was very committed. All right. Chenju did not decline. Having taken the money, he was to support Old Zhang's publicity efforts, and he indeed needed the fame to help enhance his future earnings. Before the competition, Qin Zheng brought Li Linling, who he hadn't seen for a long while. He was thrilled, finally having found an excuse to invite his university entrance exam counting down senior sister out for a little while. Chenju, go for it. His loud voice echoed in the martial arts hall. In the judges' area, the Martial Arts Association leaders were now accompanied by 4 masters, the most conspicuous being the elephant-like giant elephant Ricket, whose arms were indeed much thicker than Chenju's thighs, veins sprawling like venomous snakes, exuding a violent beauty. Zhang Jiao was a tall, handsome middle-aged man. Wu Tian Lion was short and stout, looking quite astute. The leader took a sip of water, coughed, and announced, "The 20th Pingjiang District Martial Arts Hall Exchange Youth Division officially begins. The competition will use random matchups to decide the top 3. Among the 24 participants, most were just filling numbers. Those of third-rank strength did not exceed 10. They stood in a line, and in terms of height and outwardly invincible aura, the most ferocious-looking was the bald Caucasian, Ricken's son Rain. Beside him, Wang Chang and Liu Qingyuan both wore serious expressions, each harboring their thoughts. Rain indeed is a formidable opponent. He must be close to 4th rank. Hope I don't match with him. As long as it's not Rain, I'm confident of making the top 3. Rain was too conspicuous, and all competitors' eyes are on him. No one noticed Du and Chenju in the corner. On the big screen, random matchups kept cycling. Everyone was curious to see who would be unlucky enough to face Rain, the muscle monster in the first round, including Chenju, until the screen stopped. First pair, Liu Yang Golden Lion versus Du Flying Swallow. Fourth pair, Rain Smith Giant Elephant versus Chenju Flying Swallow. Well, it turned out he was the unlucky one. Chapter 62, 62 Black Tiger Attacks Elephant. In this kind of random draw knockout tournament, unless one has the absolute power to dominate all competitors, luck still plays a part in achieving rankings. Wang Chang, Liu Qingyuan, and Ricken were among the top 3 favored contestants, and no one wanted to face them in the first round, so everyone's expression varied when they saw the matchup results. Some people sighed in relief. Some people watched with amusement. This Lu Chenju is really unlucky. Exactly, knocked out in the first round. Look at Ricken's arms, I feel like they could break my thighs. Remove the feel, he's a fierce contender with a chi blood breakthrough of 2. Everyone secretly sighed for the Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. In the audience stands, Li Zionghua and Lu Gyuping's hearts were in their throats. What's going on? Is there some kind of foul play? Why is Chenju facing this foreigner right off the bat? The guy is half a head taller than Chenju and must weigh over 200 pounds, right? What foul play could there be? It's random. Don't worry unnecessarily, Chenju is a 4th rank. Do you understand? Having grasped the dark strength, he could even make a place for himself in the world as a dart master, and those bandits wouldn't dare to mess with him. The physical difference is too great. Chi blood isn't just about size. You know nothing. If we're talking about strength, Chenju isn't necessarily weaker than this foreigner. Just focus on the match. After being lectured by Lu Gyuping, Li Zionghua tiptoed over to where Shiruyu was sitting nearby, wearing an apologetic smile, and asked, "Ruyu, Chenju facing this foreigner won't be a problem, right?" Shiruyu was also subconsciously nervous when she saw Chenju paired up with Ricken initially, because Ricken did have a modest reputation in these martial arts circles. However, after analyzing, she felt that Ricken couldn't possibly break through the 4th rank. Shiruyu smiled slightly and said, "Auntie, don't worry. With the skills of our fellow disciple, there definitely won't be a problem, and the judges down there will ensure he doesn't get hurt." Li Zionghua then breathed a sigh of relief. "That puts my mind at ease. I trust the judgment of you professionals." At the judges' stand, Jai Chuantong was also feeling a bit excited. Good, to knock out Rickon right from the start. The rules of such a small-scale event were simple, with no revival matches after elimination, so Rickon was definitely out of the top 3 now, much to old Jai's delight. Yang Jiao and Wu Tianqi were also secretly delighted. As long as they didn't face Rickon in the first round, their true inheritance was almost guaranteed a top 3 spot. This Lu Chenju, truly an unfortunate soul. They too had researched Chenju, knowing that his rise was rapid, and his abilities had already surpassed veterans like Du Men, who was a 3rd rank. But no matter how strong you are, you cannot defeat Rickon, who almost achieved great success in the white elephant fighting technique and had a Chi blood breakthrough of 2. 2 months ago, Chenju just advanced to 3rd rank, not likely to achieve a Chi blood 4th rank breakthrough, not to mention mastering advanced force techniques like dark strength. However, Rickon felt a bit uneasy deep inside. Looking at his son Rickon, who was brimming with confidence like a towering elephant, he cautioned him. "Rickon, give it your all." "I will, father." The leader cleared his throat and announced loudly. "The match begins. First group, come to the stage." Du Men, both nervous and excited, stepped up to compete. His opponent, Liu Yang, was also a 3rd rank contestant. His luck wasn't much better, not having drawn a 2nd rank. Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall, Du Men, specializes in swallow return fist. Golden Lion Martial Arts Hall, Liu Yang, Golden Lion Fist. The two introduced themselves and then began their bout. Lu Chenju observed Du Men's techniques and noted his significant improvement. After a few minutes of vigorous fighting, exchanging well over 100 moves in a fierce contest, Du Men ultimately prevailed, defeating his opponent with a flying swallow chain attack that sent him out of bounds. Cheers erupted from the crowd for the Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. Du Men, Du Men. Lu Chenju also applauded. As Du Men came off the stage, he passed by and quietly asked, "Got a grip?" Lu Chenju nodded slightly. "Good luck." Jai Chuntong naturally smiled broadly. If lucky, the Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall might secure 2 of the top 3 spots. Du also had the makings of a martial artist, but unfortunately, he didn't have an epiphany like Lu Chenju. The next 2 matches ended quickly. 3rd rank facing 2nd rank, both were utterly predictable. Please welcome the 4th group of contestants to the stage. Following the announcement, Lu Chenju adjusted his Flying Swallow uniform and strode confidently onto the platform. Truth be told, he was a bit excited, possibly because this was his first official match in his 10-year martial arts career, with so many spectators watching. Let out the tiger's momentum. He cleared his mind and visualized the black tiger. He quickly entered a fighting state. Thump, thump, thump. Rickon also stepped onto the stage with heavy steps, wearing an open-chested training outfit that revealed his bear-like robust muscles and dense chest hair. Students from the White Elephant Fighting Hall were equally excited. Rickon's 2 older brothers were there to cheer him on. "Son of the mighty elephant, son of the mighty elephant. Rickon, knock him flying. We are invincible, mighty elephant." Wang Chang and Liu Qingyuan watch with interest. If Lu Chenju uses the agility of the swallow form fist and wears down Rickon's stamina, he might stand a chance, at least lose more gracefully. It's a pity he also had a chance to make it to the top 3. Some in the audience couldn't bear to watch. The visual impact of the muscle monster was just too terrifying. Lu Chenju greeted with a bow. Lu Chenju, from Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall, skilled in Black Tiger Fist. Rickon's expression changed slightly, but he didn't announce his affiliation. So Lu Chenju was using Black Tiger Fist. He had been worried that his opponent might use Swallow Form Fist to keep him at bay, making it hard for him to win quickly. This was much better. He loved straightforward, forceful combat. Wang Chang and Liu Qingyuan felt regretful. Wrong tactic used. However mighty the black tiger, how could it match the mighty elephant? On the platform, Rickon smiled confidently, his long legs closing the gap in 3 steps. Then he unleashed a plain but fierce charging punch, causing an explosive sound similar to a train crash. White elephant fighting technique, the essence of tusk charging. Lu Chenju didn't dodge. With his movement technique, he could have easily dodged, but he remembered Jai Xuantong's words. To win thoroughly, to win impressively. His right foot gripped the ground like a tiger, his body rotating rightward as if drawing a tightly wound bow, his right fist clenched, his muscular and well-proportioned arms twisted together like black pythons, his black tiger dark strength transferring instantly from his foot through his muscles and bones to his right fist. 36 forms, black tiger strikes the mountain. The punch was fierce, like hammering iron. Seeing Lu Chenju confronting his punch head-on, Riken revealed a cruel smile, almost seeing his opponent being blown away, crashing to the ground holding his arms in pain, until his massive fist met with that callosity-covered fist. An unmatched power surged, causing instant severe pain in his arm, contorting his face as he instinctively launched a heavy left hook combined with a knee strike towards Lu Chenju. Lu Chenju had already crossed his arms to block the strike, merely stepping back slightly to dissipate the force. Then he pivoted in a tiger pounce motion, sweeping his leg in a tiger tail leg strike. Snap! Hands are like two doors, relying entirely on legs to strike. The crisp sound of the dark force exploded, resounded through the martial arts hall. Naturally, the strength of a leg can't be compared to a fist. With a slight application of dark force, Riken, weighing over 200 pounds, was sent flying like a broken kite. He crashed on the edge of the stands, trying to prop himself up for another round, but found his right arm too painful. With his physique, if the opponent was only third rank, the strike wouldn't have been this powerful. Realizing this, he looked at his opponent unbelievably. I lost. This man was fourth rank, and had mastered the intermediate internal skills of fighting techniques. The screen above froze the time. This battle from start to finish took only 5 seconds. Chapter 63, 63 Road to Champion. In the stands, silence reigned. Many people had just glanced at their phones when they suddenly heard a snap, and watched as the muscle-bound behemoth Riken was sent flying backward in pain, admitting defeat. What was going on? Wasn't it said that Riken was the strongest? How had he been defeated in just 5 seconds? Lu Chenju was also tall and robust, but compared to Riken, he still appeared delicate. Normally, shouldn't it have been Lu Chenju being sent flying instead? After the silence, cheers erupted. Brother Lu is awesome. Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. Someone shouted, Flying Swallow see flying unrestrained. And then the crowd began to chant this slogan, which Jai Feiyan had modeled after Li Longwang's in waves. Flying Swallow see flying unrestrained. Li Xianghua opened her eyes only when she heard the cheering. Is Chenju all right? Lu Guoping stood up happily and clapped his hands. What could go wrong? Chenju floored that guy in just a couple of moves. Really? That foreigner is a 200-pound strongman. What strongman or not? Martial arts is about technique and chi blood, not just muscle mass and brute strength. Concentration is the essence, and not to mention Chenju has mastered the legendary dark force technique and can burst forth instantly. Listen to you go. My son made 100,000 today all by himself. That's half a year's worth for me, no lie. The old couple was overjoyed, unable to contain their excitement. Shiruyu came down to the stage. Junior brother, that was well fought. You truly had the air of a tiger form. Thank you for your guidance, senior sister. Lu Chenju thought that indeed, fourth rank crushed third rank, especially with dark force techniques. He had even held back, otherwise that one punch would have crippled Riken's arm. Du also came over. That punch was so cool, daring to face Riken directly in a punch. Among the competitors here, aside from you, probably no one would dare do that. You're set for first place now. Being a fellow competitor from Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall, he felt honored as well. Keep it up, let's all aim for the top 3. Lu Chenju encouraged. At the judges' panel, emotions varied among the heads of the 4 major academies. Jai Chuantong kept a composed exterior, but was inwardly extremely thrilled. It's damn exhilarating to have knocked Riken out with a direct hit. You excel in head-on confrontations. I'll boldly knock you out head-on. Riken looked displeased but said nothing. Defeat was defeat. There had been no foul play. This was a competition categorized by age, but who could have predicted that Lu Chenju would break through to 4th rank in just 2 months? Medics quickly checked Riken and found no major issues, proving that Lu Chenju had shown restraint. Otherwise, a full-powered burst of dark force could have shattered bones. Injuring muscles and bones means 100 days of recovery, the bane of any martial artist. Though embarrassed, as a judge, Riken couldn't leave his seat. He silently watched the subsequent matches, while Riken, having lost all heart, went home. This kid needed much more training, both mentally and physically. What could Jiang Jiao and the others even say now? Lu Chenju was solidly 4th rank by now. leaving no suspense in the match. They looked towards Jai Xuantong. Old Jai truly had stumbled upon a treasure. The competition moved forward. Wang Chang and Liu Qingyuan also each defeated their opponents, advancing to the top 12. They looked towards Lu Chenju, who now sat alone with his eyes closed in meditation, praying that they wouldn't have to face him in the quarterfinals. Events had truly taken an unexpected turn. This man had outright knocked the giant sun into the air. That was a 2 chi blood level, nearly 4th-rank muscle monster. What's there to even compete for? This man is absolutely 4th rank, first place is undoubtedly his. Such individuals with low-class root bones, stepping into 4th rank before 18, were exceedingly rare, even rarer than intermediate root bones. After a brief rest, the second round of matchups began. Everyone was now only curious about who would come in second and third. They also silently mourned for any competitor who would face Lu Chenju. Everyone assumed Lu Chenju was the unlucky one, not realizing that the real unfortunate one was Ricken, who, despite having the second strongest capabilities, was eliminated in the first round. Third group, Du Flying Swallow versus Lin Guan Yulong. Group 6, Chenju Flying Swallow versus Wang Chang Golden Lion. Damn! Someone from the Golden Lion martial arts hall's stand couldn't help but curse. It's over, brother Wang Chang was stably top 3. Yeah, it's really frustrating. Dancing Lion was also feeling bitter inside. Chang had a small breakthrough recently. Under normal circumstances, he had a chance for second place. Now it's hopeless. Let's aim for second place next year. As for first place, forget it. Before Chenju was promoted to the youth category, no one could compete with him. This kid must have had an epiphany. Seeing the matched opponent, Chenju breathed a sigh of relief. That Chen Guan was one of the few second-ranked contestants with good luck to make it to the second round. Chenju was lucky. He easily won the fight and advanced to the top 6. Jai Xuantong was hopeful in his heart. Lucky fellow, Chenju kicked the 2 toughest guys out. This kid really has a chance for top 3. All I can say, Chenju's matchup was extraordinary. When it was Chenju's turn on stage, he bowed and introduced himself. Wang Chang also smiled superficially. Wang Chang, Golden Lion Martial Arts Hall, skilled at Lion Fist. He couldn't really smile inside. A stable top 3 gone. Luckily with Ricken as the first unfortunate one, he already knew Chenju's strength, so he calmed his mind, just aiming to last more than 10 seconds. Please go ahead. Chenju let Wang Chang attack first. Watch the fist. Wang Chang, like a lion dancer, lightly touched the ground and floated towards Chenju, then threw a palm strike, which Chenju easily deflected without moving. Wang Chang jumped 3 feet high, exploding with a right spinning kick. Chenju dodged easily with a move, Black Tiger leaps the gorge, then smashed a punch towards Wang Chang's flying right leg, causing Wang Chang to instantly lose stability, breaking his momentum. His stepwork also began showing signs of disorder, a grave taboo in a martial contest. What followed was a one-sided onslaught from Chenju. His fierce punches stormed like a tempest, and Wang Chang could only rely on the dancing lion step to keep dodging. He knew Chenju was letting him off easy, otherwise with dark force used in that earlier strike, he would have been blown away, for which he was also grateful. Finally, after holding on for 30 seconds, Wang Chang was slammed to the ground by Chenju, raising both hands. I lost. You fought pretty well, Chenju said, smiling as he pulled him up. I did poorly, embarrassed myself. Wang Chang, blushing, vanished from the stage in a flash. Dancing Lion below looked towards Jai Xuantong, thinking internally. Thanks, old Jai. Just like that. Liu Qingyuan, Chenju, and Du along with 3 others advanced into the top 6, one of them being Ricken's disciple, the equally robust third-ranked contestant Gao Fei. He was the last hope for Giant Elephant Fighting Hall. In the match for the top 3, Chenju faced a third-ranked contestant from Yulong Martial Arts Hall and defeated him in just over 20 seconds without suspense. Du fought a tough battle with Gao Fei, enduring a fierce fight for over 10 minutes, barely winning using the nimble flying swallow sea flying technique to enter the top 3. Finally, it was the championship contest between Chenju, Liu Qingyuan, and Du. Du's luck ran out. He faced Chenju right away. He took a deep breath and said, Let's go, we haven't sparred in a long time. Chenju smiled. Sure. He also recalled the days sparring with Du, then seriously fought him using the flying swallow sea flying technique, and in 1 minute, Du was sent flying out of the ring with a move, flying swallow pecks water. Du was very happy to be in the top 3. Losing to Chenju was not disgraceful. After a final showdown, Chenju defeated Liu Qingyuan, who then defeated Du. The final rankings were set, with him rightfully being the champion. Chenju stood in the champion spot, holding a sign for 100,000 yuan and a trophy. Today was destined to be a day of great significance, and his path to being a champion had just begun. Chapter 64, 64 Cuxing Points to Dipper. The youth group competition drew to a close, and Lu Chenju was undoubtedly the dark horse. At lunchtime, Zhang Jiao and Wu Tianlian approached Jai Xuantong. "Old Jai, you've taken on a good disciple." Jai Xuantong felt proud internally, yet humbly replied, "Your true inheritances are not bad either." Is Lu Chenju still attending a regular high school? He has transferred to a martial arts school at the Dragon City High School Sioux City campus. That's good. Staying in a regular high school would be a waste of his talent. Lu Chenju had given them enough face by not instantly defeating their true inheritances, so naturally, these two also wanted to express their gratitude. Soon, Ricket also came over. He extended his fan-like hand and shook hands with Jai Xuantong. "Jai, you won this time." "Ha ha ha, thanks for letting me win." Ricket's fierce gaze turned towards Lu Chenju. "Young man, you're quite impressive." This was his sincere praise for his opponent. "I hope to see you again next year." After saying this, Ricket turned and left. "Don't go, I'm treating everyone to lunch today, and we'll continue in the afternoon." Jai Xuantong, in a good mood, called Ricket back. Ricket said, "Thanks, but you guys go ahead, I'm going to check on Ricken." In the world of martial arts, friendship comes first and ranking second. Martial arts is about making friends through combat, fiercely competing on the court, yet off the court, everyone is friends, able to pick up and let go. This is the spirit and backbone of a martial artist. At the dining table, everyone gathered together, having a lively chat. Du had a smile so big today that his mouth couldn't close. Achieving a ranking in the Martial Arts Academy exchange competition had always been a small goal, and today he had achieved it thanks to Lu Chenju. As for the prize money of 20,000, he didn't care about it. After the meal, Du approached Lu Chenju and whispered, "Chenju, give me your account number, I'll transfer 20,000 to it." Lu Chenju raised his eyebrows. "Du, what do you mean? Without you, I couldn't have made the top 3. This has nothing to do with me. Matching is just like that. If you made it to the top 3, it was because of your ability. Besides, luck is also a part of strength." "That may be so, but I'm not short of money." Du was aware of Lu Chenju's family difficulties. 20,000 could be a timely help for him. "Really, no need." Lu Chenju patted Du on the shoulder and then walked away. Du, feeling helpless, had no choice but to let it go. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the young adult group competition officially started. In the preliminary elimination round, Shiruyu was unstoppable. Her 7th rank cultivation was a complete sweep. She easily made it to the top 3. The ranking competition could be slightly suspenseful. There was someone named Lin Jiangxing, also a 7th rank, who was Wu Tianlian's eldest son, already 26 years old, using first-class martial arts, dancing lion 36 strikes. And like Shiruyu, he too had mastered the Hua realm. After the 7th rank, it is called Power Transformation Realm, but the rank level is just a standard of Chi blood, whereas Hua realm is about high-level martial arts skills, and the two aren't exactly the same. This is similar to Lu Chenju mastering the Dark Force before reaching the 4th rank. Some people reach the peak of the 6th rank and master the Hua realm, while others might take a year at 7th rank and still not achieve it. There are even rare cases where an individual only masters the Hua realm at 8th rank. Generally speaking, most martial artists master the Hua realm before reaching 8th rank. Therefore, when the Martial Arts Association organized and defined martial arts realms, they designated the start of the Power Transformation realm at 7th rank. Shiruyu used White Ape Fist. This was the signature skill of the Yuan family from Sioux City and a hallmark of Pingjiang Martial Arts University. The two exchanged blows ferociously upon starting, and after mastering the Hua realm, they could easily nullify attacks from ranks below 7th, making fights within the same realm often turn into prolonged battles. Leveraging force against force. Maintaining relaxation without slack. Going with the flow. All of the above were just the tip of the iceberg of basic skills in the Hua realm. The Hua realm, stimulated by first-class martial arts, could even break stones and strike through mountains, and even surrounded by a small group of armed commoners, a practitioner could defeat each one, calmly resolving the situation without injury. In the past, mastering the Hua realm was already seen as a top-tier expert in the eyes of ordinary people. As the champion, Lu Chenju was invited to sit next to the judges to watch the competition. Beside him, Jai Xuantong looked on with satisfaction at the heroic Shi Ruyu and commented, "Your older sister's white ape fist is really well practiced, different from ordinary phantom boxing methods. White ape fist focuses more on embodying both the form and the spirit. It's said that when the grandmaster from the Yuan family in Sioux City makes a move, a white ape protector accompanies him, which actually means bringing the form of the white ape to perfection, complemented by the martial arts essence of a powerful chi spirit." Jai Xuantong briefly explained to Lu Chenju about White Ape Fist, which consists of 24 movements. If practiced to perfection, it's rare to find a match below the 10th rank. He watched Shiruyu fight and couldn't help but praise repeatedly. Such a move, mirror-facing continuous palm. Hey, clothes brushing monkey climbing a tree. Not bad, step around palm thrashing connected. Beside, Lu Chenju marveled at the insight of a martial artist. He could only sense that his sister's fighting was extremely fluid, her shoulders, elbows, arms, palms, back. These human power points were like an elastic line, pulling one hair to move the whole body. Every gesture she made could burst out the power of a giant ape from her relatively petite body. Suddenly, Shiruyu let out a delicate shout. She moved closer in a flash, taking a right step and simultaneously exploding her right fist upwards from inside out and the left fist forward from inside out, concentrating all her body's power in 2 points. Bang! Lin Jiangxing, careless of his rear, only managed to defend against the right fist aimed at his head, but was struck by the left, realizing too late that the right was a feint. Boom! White Ape 24 movements, Hero Star points of battle. Lin Jiangxing flew backward, stabilizing his form in the Hua realm, but once his rhythm broke, he was completely vulnerable before the more skilled Shiruyu. He managed to withstand several dozen strikes before eventually being knocked off the platform. Holding her radiant fists, Shiruyu saluted and said, "Thank you for the challenge, are you all right?" Lin Jiangxing quickly replied, "I'm all right," and he left without looking back. Wu Tian Lion sighed slightly. He knew his son had given it his all. In the end, Shiruyu achieved her wish and claimed first place. Jai Xuantong couldn't be more thrilled. 2 true inheritances, each more impressive than the other. He always knew his judgment in people wasn't wrong. Shiruyu and Lu Chenju, both were top-class raw gems. Congratulations, older sister. Older sister, you're so cool. The students of Flying Swallow Martial Arts Academy cheered and jumped for joy. Both the youth and the young adult championships were won by Flying Swallow Martial Arts Academy. Now who else could compete? It was also dinner time by then. At the dining table, Jai Xuantong opened a bottle of fine wine and started drinking with some of the elders, clearly too joyful today. He even made a phone call to Jai Feiyan. "Dad, why did you suddenly call me? Ru Yu and Chenju both won championships." "Wow, that's great, though I had already guessed it." Jai Feiyan had already stopped underestimating these 2 lower root bone juniors, and she looked forward to meeting them on campus at Martial Arts University. After everyone had a good time, Lu Chenju congratulated old Zhang in advance on his good performance that night. He didn't continue watching as he had to rush back to school before dark. Old Zhang promised Lu Chenju good news soon. He said that within a few days, Lu Chenju would be somewhat famous. After being trained at the Martial Arts Academy by Jai Xuantong for a while, the day had begun to darken. Lu Chenju took his leave from the master and Shiruyu. "Teacher, older sister, I'm heading back now." Jai Xuantong nodded and said, "Go ahead, don't be proud. This is just the lowest level of competition." Shiruyu looked at Lu Chenju's parents nearby. "Don't worry, little brother. I'll escort your aunt and uncle home for you." "Thank you, older sister." Lu Chenju spoke with his chattering folks for a while before leaving the Martial Arts Academy. At the end of May in Sioux City, it was the plum rain season, with continuous drizzle. He plunged into the light rain outside. Chapter 65 River Battle at Night. 6 o'clock in the evening. At a bank, Lu Chenju had just withdrawn 100,000 and deposited it into his card. He stared at the large sum, with a calmness that belied his true feelings inside. Excluding the 50,000 from the Hidden Dragon Scholarship, this was the first significant sum of money he had ever earned in his life. He initially wanted to wire 30,000 to his parents, but Lu Guoping and Li Xianghua adamantly refused, saying the 50,000 he gave last time was still lasting them quite a while. Besides, it made sense. Now, Lu Chenju didn't spend a penny of his family's money on his martial arts training, and there weren't any large expenses at home. As for moving to a new house, no one had brought it up again. In half a year, the Dragon City Martial Arts University branch would relocate to their area, and the value of property in the Su Central District was about to skyrocket, second only to the ancient city district, where Pingjiang Martial Arts University was located, and the economically flourishing high-tech industrial park. The rain intensified abruptly and poured down, gradually reducing the number of pedestrians on the street. Lu Chenju, now not short of money, called for a rideshare, but after a long wait, no one accepted the job. As for autonomous vehicles, with the recent precedents at the Du family's place, he was hesitant to use them. Forget it, better take the subway instead, it's safer. Weak void things feared places teeming with life. The more people, the safer. Subway stations, as densely populated areas, also had considerable police presence arranged by the authorities. It was said that at every station in Sioux City, there was at least one third-rank expert on duty. Some important stations even had martial artists stationed there. Drenched by the torrential rain, Lu Chenju hurried towards the subway station. Bang, bang, bang. Suddenly, a deep sound seemed to tear through the heavy rain, ringing in Lu Chenju's ears. His complexion changed as it sounded like gunfire. Then piercing sirens ripped through the sky. A black car sped past a red light, cutting through the water on the ground, being hotly pursued by the police. With its tires blown, the car swerved uncontrollably and crashed head-on into a nearby bridge pier. From the police vehicle, 3 figures in uniform swiftly got out. One stood behind the car door, aiming a gun in the direction of the black car, while the other 2, who looked like martial artists dressed in specially made bulletproof vests, quickly flanked both sides of the black car. The officer behind the car door shouted, "Try to capture them alive. See if we can dig up any clues about the cult." The 2 police officers rushing forward were Dark Force Realm experts, honed through countless fights with criminals. They too had guns drawn, aimed at the black car. "Get out of the car." "He's not in the car." They kicked the car doors open, only to find it empty. The windshield had been shattered. Most likely, the suspect had smashed the window and leapt out upon crashing into the pier. Sure enough, beneath the bridge, within the veil of rain, dodging through the reeds, ran a figure in a white shirt and dress pants, tie flapping. He looked no different from an ordinary office worker, but his chi blood levels were much higher than the average person. He was a third-rank martial artist in the Ming Power realm. Bang, bang, bang. A series of shots rang out. He had no means of escape. Ding, ding, ding. One of the 3 shots missed, sending rocks and soil flying. The other 2 hit his right leg, sparking on impact. Shattered fabric revealed a metallic sheen, bullets lodged in metal from which electrical currents hissed. Clearly, this was not a leg of flesh and bone. Taking cover behind a nearby large willow tree, the man quickly ran off. One of the shooting officers cursed, "Damn it, that guy's got prosthetics. You cover me, I'll chase him." "Be careful, I thought I saw a bystander who might have jumped off the bridge, worried about being hit by accident. Watch out, the criminal might take him as a hostage." One officer, using his movement technique, descended the bridge rapidly in pursuit. The Zia Martial Arts Association had compiled a series of simple and easy-to-learn military martial arts techniques, and the officers were all somewhat trained in them to aid in the capture of criminals. The officer on the bridge looked grave. The man in the fleeing white shirt was an accomplice to the 4th-rank Black Knight murderer from last night's martial arts school student murder case. The Black Knight had already been killed. "Hope that bystander is okay." Beside the river channel, the weeds parted, revealing Lu Chenju's figure. "What an unprovoked disaster. Luckily, I reacted quickly." Upon hearing the gunshots, he had instinctively jumped off the bridge, hiding below to avoid accidental injury. Martial arts, while advantageous, also maintained a high crime rate in every city, not to mention the constant threats of evil calamity, virtual disaster, and black calamity. Many citizens had grown accustomed to these dangers. He sprinted, ready to climb the high wall and leave. Suddenly, he heard a rustling sound from within the reeds. Lu Chenju turned around, his expression guarded, his body tense like a coiled spring. The man in the dress shirt appeared abruptly, coldly staring at Lu Chenju. His prosthetics were damaged. It shouldn't have been possible for him to run. His instinct was to take the person before him as a hostage. He clenched a tiger claw in his right hand, reaching for Lu Chenju. Black Tiger Fist. It was a coincidence that this man also practiced the Black Tiger Fist. But before Lu Chenju, it was like performing a sword dance in front of Guan Gong. He spread his right hand outward to deflect, and with his left hand he reached for the man's chest. The man, being quite agile, dodged and, accompanied by the screeching of metal against metal and the sound of electricity, delivered a black tiger tail sweep towards Lu Chenju. Lu Chenju crossed his fists with the backs of his hands facing inward, using them to block. Bang! He thought he could easily deflect the attack, but a tremendous force uncontrollably sent him flying backward, a bloody imprint emerging on his sturdy arm, instantaneously turning purple and blue. Using Black Tiger Roll, he rolled on the ground to dissipate the force, then stood up. The man's raised right leg came down, stomping fiercely on the ground and lunging at Lu Chenju once more. It was then that Lu Chenju saw sparks of electricity and silver metal pieces beneath the man's trouser legs. Lu Guoping worked at a prosthetic parts factory, so he recognized these as prosthetics. This was a martial artist with installed prosthetics. If the martial arts skills aren't up to par, technology compensates. Bang! The iron foot smashed into the ground, sending dirt and rocks flying. Lu Chenju had suffered a silent loss and learned his lesson. He absolutely mustn't clash head-on with those legs. Black Tiger Fist was a close-range boxing style. Within a 6-foot range, Lu Chenju dodged several kicks and quickly returned to his own attack rhythm. After once again avoiding the prosthetic legs kicks, he found the perfect opportunity and with a Black Tiger enters cave, ducked under the man's swinging fists and moved behind him, wrapping his arms around him. 33rd move, Black Tiger Throws Bull. Lu Chenju became the Bengal tiger that preyed on water buffaloes, his bones and organs trembling, gathering all the power of the dark force in his body and erupting it in an instant, violently throwing his enemy backward. The man's arms were locked by Lu Chenju, unable to break his fall. Then, like a reverse-planted onion, he was pressed to the ground by Lu Chenju. He even heard the sound of his cervical spine breaking and felt a sense of foreboding within. Could he have been killed by his own hand? He had only intended self-defense. He loosened his grip, and at that moment the man was spitting blood, the shattered bones of his cervical spine flying out with tremendous force, puncturing his neck. His gaze dissipating, he reached out to grab Lu Chenju, but he fell powerlessly to the ground, breathless. Lu Chenju exhaled and remained standing at the scene. "I just wanted to leave. Why did you attack me?" He posed the question to the dead man before him. He was just a high school student passing by. At the brink of life and death, he had to unleash the Black Tiger Fist to protect himself. From being ambushed to the death of his assailant, everything had occurred in a very short span of time. Perhaps the tiger form fist had immersed him in the fierce tiger's aura, because Lu Chenju was abnormally calm despite having just killed a man. He remembered what Chachihu had said. Tiger Fist is a fist for taking life. The running police officer stopped in his tracks, breathing lightly. He looked at the expressionless short-sleeved, sport shorts-wearing boy and then at the corpse on the ground. The boy had killed someone but was eerily composed. He was like a successful hunting tiger, making eye contact that even made this dark force expert uncomfortable. The officer verified the death of the criminal and put down his gun. "Kid, have you ever killed anyone before?" The boy shook his head. The officer said, "Relax, it was just an accidental death in legitimate self-defense against a cult member, nothing to worry about. Wait here, my colleagues will be here shortly." Lu Chenju put away the void-breaking gloves, folding them neatly into his pocket. He stood leaning against the wall, looking at the man's broken neck, blood profusely flowing out, getting diluted and washed away by the heavy rain into the swelling river below. He hoped this incident would be over soon, without affecting his martial arts training. Chapter 66. 66 The Tiger That Kills Men. Before long, another officer arrived on the scene. He looked at the body with some regret. Again, no live capture. Just like yesterday's case, running amok in the downtown area, we had to take him down. What on earth are these cults trying to do? He then looked toward Lu Chenju. Pretty good moves, little bro. Are you from a martial arts school? Though Lu Chenju was solidly built, his face still held the traces of a high schooler's youthfulness. For a student to counterkill a third-rank prosthetics-enhanced assailant, it was highly likely he was from a martial arts school. These experienced officers could tell at a glance. In fact, this kind of incident wasn't new. There were always some misjudged attempts by criminals to provoke the seemingly vulnerable youth of the nation, who turned out to be as dangerous as Venus flytraps. I'm from Dragon City High School, Lu Chenju. Dragon City High School. No wonder you're so strong. You've broken through to the fourth rank, haven't you? Otherwise, it wouldn't be easy to handle a third-rank prosthetic-enhanced Black Knight. Yes. How old are you? 16. Impressive. The two officers cordoned off the area, instructing Lu Chenju to stand by, then called for a police car to completely surround the place. Lu Chenju simply watched quietly as they worked. After the scene was processed, night fell deep, and people on the highway above the canal stopped their cars to watch. Murdered. Good Lord, another homicide. The killer isn't that high schooler, is it? Soon, the onlookers were dispersed by the police. In the end, someone lifted the body of the man in the dress shirt, his head hanging limply, covered it with a cloth, and loaded it onto the police car. At 9 o'clock in the evening, Lu Chenju arrived at the Pingjiang police station. Lu Chenju wasn't too worried. To accommodate a society where martial arts flourished, Dazia's laws had specific provisions for legitimate self-defense. He was a minor. For such matters, guardians were sure to be called in. It wasn't long before Li Xianghua and Lu Guoping rushed over in Shiruyu's car. They'd scarcely been dropped off at home by Shiruyu before they received this distressing news. Lu Guoping's expression was grim. His mood today was like a roller coaster, thrilled for his child winning the championship at the Martial Arts Academy exchange competition in the daytime, then suddenly faced with this incident at night. Their ordinary family had never experienced anything like this. Fortunately, his son was unscathed. Those cultists were truly despicable. Chenju, just tell the truth. Lu Guoping took Li Xianghua to wait in the lobby while Shiruyu comforted them on the side. Being a student from Martial Arts University, she had experienced her fair share of tumultuous events. Uncle, Aunt, don't worry. Several of my classmates have been through this. I've inquired already. The deceased was a cult member. He was attempting to take Chenju hostage, and what happened was purely out of self-defense. Oh, there's security camera footage too. Rest assured, 100 times over, Lu Chenju will be fine. Despite her reassuring words, Shiruyu still contacted Jai Chuantong. In truth, the police would definitely reach out to the martial artist mentor in such a case. First, to determine if the mentor had any responsibility. Second, as a sign of respect for the martial artist. In addition, the police had contacted the Dragon City High School, who had informed class teacher Yu Zheng to drive over immediately, making sure the student wouldn't be left in trouble. As Lu Chenju was being questioned, Jai Chuantong arrived at the police station, stepping out of his luxury car with an imposing aura. I am Lu Chenju's mentor. He presented his martial artist and true inheritance credentials, and the demeanor of the officers outside immediately turned reverent, ushering him into the lounge to wait for questioning. A martial artist held a position of great respect. Master Jai, Chenju is okay, right? Jai Chuantong said. No worries, just waiting for the outcome. Before long, Yu Zheng arrived as well. He was a martial arts master who had broken the second shackles, ranking even above Jai Chuantong. The two greeted each other upon meeting. Jai Chuantong inquired, Teacher Yu, will this incident affect Chenju's studies? Yu Zheng looked toward Lu Chenju being questioned inside. Self-defense, no problem at all. There should even be a reward. Having seen many similar cases as a teacher, he was familiar with the protocol. Jai Chuantong breathed a sigh of relief. Regardless, with Dragon City Martial Arts University stepping in, there'd be no issue. At 10 o'clock, Lu Chenju was released. An officer patted his shoulder, telling him not to worry too much, to go on with his normal school life. The officer said with a smile, We've communicated with the prosecution, it's self-defense. Also, give us a bank account number. There should be a sum of assistance money from the judicial process in your account by tomorrow. Everybody, relax, it's not a big deal. Just be careful in the future when you go out. Cases involving martial arts school students were processed with an efficiency that surpassed imagination. These were handled through special channels, distinct from ordinary criminal cases. In some major cities, there were even martial arts courts established specifically to adjudicate these types of cases. Li Zhangyu stepped forward, taking Lu Chenju's hand. "Are you okay?" "Mom, don't cry, I'm fine." Lu Chenju looked at everyone worrying over him, feeling a warmth in his heart. It reminded him that he wasn't a merciless, unfeeling tiger. He simply lacked any sympathy for those evil individuals who tried to harm him. If there was a next time, he might still kill the aggressor. He wasn't in the wrong lay with the wicked. All he wanted was to live quietly, to continue his martial arts training and grow stronger. Not to mention, there was a monetary reward involved. Jai Xuantong patted Lu Chenju's back and said, "Chenju, get some rest back at school today, practice your punches as usual, just as if nothing had happened. For a martial artist, it's quite normal to kill a villain." "Okay, teacher, I'll be mindful." Yu Zheng added, "It's all right. The country definitely cares more about a young man who has the potential to become a martial artist than a scoundrel who joins a cult for trivial reasons. Just be aware for the future. The one that died today was a prosthetics-enhanced Black Knight. Don't be fooled by his merely being third rank. There have been cases before where those with dark force were killed in self-defense. We're not just in an era of martial arts, but also of technology. That guy only had a civilian-grade prosthetic. Some Black Knights who illicitly modify military-grade prosthetics can even catch martial artists off guard. Safety first." Lu Chenju took the lesson to heart. His plan was certainly to run whenever possible and then call the police. But in a situation like today's, had he not dealt with the enemy, it would have been difficult to get away. Chapter 67 Martial Arts Chip. Dragon City High School. After a night of turmoil, Lu Chenju returned to his dormitory. The police chose not to publicize the case to prevent Lu from being targeted by dark forces for revenge, thus not affecting his future life. Lu Chenju looked at his purplish-blue arms and applied the ointment Yuan Zheng had picked up for him from the medical room. It was Black Jade No. 1 ointment, also a product of Martial Medicine Factory No. 6. His injuries were not severe, just bruises from a fall which would heal in a week. The price was also not expensive. He offered Yuan Zheng money, but Yuan Zheng refused, saying the school would reimburse it. The next day, May 22. Lu Chenju, as usual, got up before dawn. He went to Tiger Garden, and when Tiger Brother saw Lu Chenju, his tiger eyes stared at him. It felt the monkey was becoming more and more tiger. Previously it was just an appearance, but now even the aura was somewhat similar. This aura was killing aura. Clearly, the monkey must have tasted meat. A tiger that has eaten humans has a completely different aura than ordinary tigers. Lu Chenju observed Black Tiger, emptied everything else from his mind, focused only on those eyes brimming with killing aura, and began practicing Black Tiger Fist. The more he practiced, the smoother and fuller of killing aura it became. He immersed himself in last night's killing state again, then the leaves of the Black Tiger Fist began to twinkle once more. After shedding blood, Tiger Form Fist was no longer just a mere fist move. Inspiration strikes the prepared mind. Results come with half the effort. Just like that, the state came back. Obviously, killing someone significantly increased the likelihood of Tiger Form Fist achieving inspirational state. It's here. After a month, he finally entered that state again. If others knew he reached the inspirational state 4 times in 2 months, they would definitely urge Lu Chenju to buy a lottery ticket. Black Tiger pouncing deer. Black Tiger overlooking abyss. Black Tiger throws bull. One move after another unleashed by Lu Chenju. Each seemed as if meant to kill, distinctly different from the previous temperament of Black Tiger Fist. After a vigorous 2 hours, the state quietly vanished without trace. Lu Chenju looked towards the martial arts tree. Black Tiger Fist, great success 43%. Who would have thought killing could have such benefits? Spared half a month of bitter training, it will soon blossom. Lu Chenju looked forward to the divine seed unique to Black Tiger Fist. Even the lowest level, no regrets. Divine seed brought many benefits. The new divine seed will certainly be extraordinary. At the summit of Fangshan. On a rugged strange rock, Wang Jidao's pores opened and closed, with the surrounding fog scattering and surging with his breath, quite shocking. Truly, this youth's inner temperament changed after killing someone. Although I do not practice Tiger Form Fist, if one wants to cultivate this method, lacking the experience of killing someone always feels something's missing. After killing, calm and composed like a fierce tiger, not only in form, but the aura and spirit are much more alike. This might be the reason for his recent inspiration. During breakfast, Lu Chenju browsed the news. Last night's incident indeed wasn't reported. Suddenly, a text notification sounded on his mobile phone. Your account ending in 9527 has received a transfer of 100,000 yuan from Sioux City Finance Department. Current balance 230,000 yuan. Note, judicial assistance reward. My bonus has arrived. He immediately went to the medical room and exchanged it for 8 boxes of qi replenishing agent. Money, keeping some for emergencies is enough. Pingjiang Police Station. Lu Feng glanced at his daughter's message on the phone, looked at the files on his desk. Among the files filled with virtual disaster, black calamity, and evil calamity cases, there was one freshly concluded, the case of the Black Knight attacking a high school student who fought back and killed the assailant. That this case was concluded so swiftly was also due to him. Otherwise, just the various approval procedures would take a long time, too delaying for a student's normal martial arts training. Lu Chenju, the young man who last went to validate his credentials at the Bureau of Virtual Calamity, it seems to be him. Quite a promising candidate for tiger form. He almost killed a veteran employee during the assessment, and now he has counterkilled a Black Knight. Not bad, those practicing tiger form must experience the taste of flesh. Generally speaking, even if there's usually no chance to kill, the college departments of the top martial arts universities also create conditions for actual combat training, allowing tiger form fists to taste blood, such as cooperating with police to destroy cult hideouts, and killing a few people is the most normal thing. Lu Feng had killed a criminal attempting to violate him since middle school. He felt that this young man's character was somewhat similar to his own. Some people just deserve to die. In the blink of an eye, it was already June 1. Because of the killing. In recent times, homeroom teacher Yu Zheng had talked to Lu Chenju a few times, and the school had also invited a specialized psychologist to counsel Lu Chenju. This meticulous care deepened Lu Chenju's approval of Dragon City Martial Arts University. Inside the martial arts room, Chachihu was giving Lu Chenju special training again. Roar it out, didn't you eat? Don't feel embarrassed. Roaring can help you simulate the aura of a fierce tiger, entering the state faster. You can also adjust your breathing through roaring during combat, enhancing your inner chi and increasing your attack power. After Chachihu finished speaking, he roared fiercely, his expression ferocious. Lu Chenju completely let himself go, imagining every move of Brother Tiger in the zoo. At times his tiger claws lashed out, his roaring voice thundering through the mountains. At other times his body curved like a bow, his deep growls even more terrifying and fierce. He dodged around the stakes, his fists and claws sending the incoming wooden posts flying, continuously pounding and sending wood chips flying. After 5 classes, Lu Chenju was utterly exhausted. Rest will train for another 3 hours in the afternoon. Chachihu agreed to gift Lu Chenju 3 more classes. Thank you, teacher. Lu Chenju looked at his calloused and scarred hands, covered with a layer of keratin, rough to the touch. He took a wooden splinter and lightly drew it across, leaving only a white mark. Tiger Supreme Fist truly deserves its reputation as a formidable second-class martial art. I didn't even deliberately train the iron sand palm, yet I've also developed a pair of invincible iron palms. These calluses and keratin were Lu Chenju's natural armor. They say that Shaolin cross-training is the best under the heavens. Later on, I could choose a suitable Shaolin hard Qigong to train and maybe buy a civilian lightweight bulletproof vest so that I can protect my vital areas like my head from ordinary criminals. This unwarranted disaster made Lu Chenju cherish his life even more. Until he broke free from his constraints, the human flesh was still too frail against a steel body. Yu Zheng mentioned that the Dezia military and the Silver Eagle Federation were already using a CERT martial arts chip prosthetics implantation technology at a basic level. This martial art level was only equivalent to mastery in traditional martial arts and couldn't reach higher realms. But paired with a steel body, even simple strikes could be deadly. Technology was changing martial arts. Stacking armor was a must. Technology and martial arts went hand in hand. In any case, the situation that happened last time must never occur again. Once injured, it might delay martial arts cultivation. After eating, Lu Chenju followed Chachihu for another 3 hours of Tiger Supreme Fist training. Today was a rest day. He didn't have to go to classes, and his parents also told him not to visit them at home to avoid repeating that night's incident. At 5 in the afternoon, Chachihu smiled and said, "Not bad, you've made rapid progress in this half a month. At your current pace, you'll master Tiger Supreme Fist this month. After you master Tiger Supreme Fist, your skills won't be inferior to the great success level of Black Tiger Fist. However, Black Tiger Fist still needs to be practiced. As the most basic tiger form, it's infinitely beneficial for your future study of various advanced martial arts. Even if martial art is perfected, it should occasionally be practiced to constantly maintain your martial sense and touch. We are human, not gods. Both our brains and muscle memory gradually fade over time." Lu Chenju took the lesson to heart and bid farewell to his teacher. On his way back to the dining hall, he pondered in his heart, "It's been a long time since I practiced basic boxing, yet I don't feel any forgetfulness or unfamiliarity. Perhaps this is also thanks to the martial arts tree. A certificate forever, never forgotten." Chapter 68, Mortal Bone 68. After dinner, Lu Chenju went to the training ground beneath the dormitory building to practice his punches. With only a month left until the summer exams, everyone was training hard under the scorching sunset. There were rooms with air conditioning available, but no one chose to train inside, as martial artists with a chi blood level above 2 were generally unaffected by the heat or cold. And so the saying goes, one must train in the winter cold and the summer heat. In ancient times, martial arts training emphasized absorbing the spirit of heaven and earth, the essence of the sun and moon, which resulted in martial artists possessing vigorous yang qi, granting them a certain restraint over void things. As night fell, some went to rest, while others continued to punch tirelessly. "Tianyu, have you reached the 6th rank?" "Yes." The two young lovers from noble families finished sparring. Other students cast envious glances their way. "To be at the 6th rank as a freshman, I can't imagine how powerful you'll be by senior year." "Yeah, and to be born a disciple from a noble family." After reaching the Dark Force realm, advancing in rank becomes difficult. Even Huo Tianyu, with his advantages, was stuck at the 5th rank for over half a year. Other students were content just to reach 5th rank before their college entrance exams. Breaking through to the power transformation realm was even more challenging. Liu Huan knew this firsthand. He had breezed through the first 3 ranks in just over half a year, only to find himself stuck at the 6th rank, unable to advance for the better part of a year. As the conversation turned to this topic, the students gathered to share their cultivation experiences. After finishing his punches, Lu Chenju sat down beside Liu Huan to listen as everyone detailed their personal journeys. Huo Tianyu laughed and said, "By the way, Chenju, I heard you won the championship at the Pingjiang District Martial Arts Academy exchange competition a while back. Congratulations, what a joyous event. Why haven't you shared this piece of good news with us?" "Yeah, I even watched the video." "Haha, Chenju, you were so cool. Right? That so-called son of the Juggernaut looked tough but was completely overwhelmed. You did Dragon City High School proud. Stepping out there is like bringing a whole other dimension of force." Lu Chenju was somewhat puzzled. Liu Huan opened a video platform app called Pili Pili on his phone. He often watched martial arts videos, so the app's algorithm recommended a video with the title Mortal Bone highlighted on the cover. The subheading was, "Don't let root bone define you. In martial arts, everyone can be a dragon." Liu Huan clicked on the video, and everyone crowded around to watch. One person who had never seen it shouted, "Isn't that Chenju?" The video fully captured the scene where Lu Chenju had relentlessly defeated Riken in the Academy exchange, complete with an inspiring background music track. Then it showed Lu Chenju's journey from being alone at the training ground in the martial arts hall, punching the air, to sparring with others, all footages from the Academy's security cameras. After obtaining Lu Chenju's consent, old Zhang had sought Jai Xuantong to collect these clips. He even hired a million-follower editor to make the 10-minute video and give it a cinematic and documentary feel. The transformation of a young man with ordinary root bone into a champion through hard work and diligent practice was beautifully portrayed. The video finale displayed the name of an app. Mortal Bone app, a martial arts community for the average person. This video has reached 100,000 views. "Yeah, Chenju, you've become popular." Looking at other videos with millions of views, Lu Chenju said with a smile, "That's hardly worth calling fame. It's different. Martial arts videos are precisely targeted at the martial arts circle or those interested in the field, so at least tens of thousands of martial artists have seen your video. You're doing great, Chenju. You've become the face of a company. Don't forget your buddies when you make it big. The group was joking around and having fun at Chenju's expense. Lu Chenju had a lot of respect for old Zhang, who harbored unappreciated talents and felt his martial arts journey was obscured by his low-class root bone. But instead of turning to the antisocial path some black knights took, he sought to unite others like him to band together, self-improve, and keep warm together. It was a nice outcome. Most importantly, Lu Chenju could join a reliable platform and earn some money in his spare time through his abilities. He was desperately poor. At night back in the dormitory, he sent a message to old Zhang. "Old Zhang, how's the app doing?" After a while, old Zhang replied, "It's going well. We have a few thousand initial registered users. I'm thinking of spending some money to advertise on some gaming or novel apps to spread the word. Why not place ads on professional martial arts apps? Not really feasible. For one, they usually won't accept it because my app might take a slice of their pie. Secondly, the quotes are high. Our app is for the average person practicing martial arts, enriching their channels for martial arts learning. Only because of my good relationship with Master Jai and me do they support what I'm doing. Other masters definitely won't." "All right, then do your best. I don't know much about it, so I can't help you much. Your video was a great help and will bring in some new users. I've already set up a fist technique coaching account for you. Take some time to get a coaching certificate, it'll be a breeze for you. Then you can start making money on the side. You're one of our pioneers, so I've set up a special contract for you. You only have to pay 20% for maintenance costs, and the other 80% is all yours. How does that sound?" "Sounds good, thanks a lot, old Zhang." "No problem, tell me if you ever need help." After chatting with old Zhang, Lu Chenju was filled with anticipation. Other fitness gyms, martial arts halls, or personal training apps took a large cut, so the 20% was virtually giving Lu Chenju a free platform and client base at no cost. He pondered. That bald coach at the third rank charged 300 per lesson, so charging 400 per session as a fist technique coach seemed fair to him. Just taking 4 or 5 classes a week would do. Earning 2,000 should be enough, as teaching others also counted as demonstrating martial arts techniques, boosting proficiency. He could hope to earn 10,000 a month, enough to buy an extra box of martial arts supplements. Of course, that was if anyone sought him out. Lu Chenju decided to get his certification next week. The fist technique coaching exams allowed registration from the age of 16. He was just the right age. Before going to bed, he practiced the flying swallow sea flying routine. When he finished, Lu Chenju felt a mysterious power welling up from within his acupoints, lightening his body. With a slight bend in his knees, he leaped effortlessly onto the high windowsill, soaring like a swallow. See sweeping body breakthrough. Lu Chenju looked out at the martial arts tree. See sweeping body, mastery 100%, right arrow small success 1%. Cultivation technique. Dragon and tiger heavenly pile, the 6th acupoint opens. He revealed a look of joy and said, "The 6th acupoint has opened as well. Double happiness comes knocking at the door. Tomorrow, I can start to open the 7th acupoint. My progress in the heavenly pile is no longer the worst in the class. I should be among the upper middle ranks now." Currently, the strongest in class is Liu Huan, who has already opened 13 acupoints, and several other cadres along with Huo Tianyu are above 10 acupoints, which puts ordinary students far behind. In the first-year class, 2 distinct worlds have subtly formed. The dividing line is the key focus list. He has only been practicing Heavenly Pile for a bit over half a year and has a weak foundation. Since Heavenly Pile is essential to breaking through shackles, its cultivation will always come first for him. Every day, he must ensure his Heavenly Pile's progress increases by 3%, for which he continuously extends the time spent on pile skill. The 6th acupoint is the Shaisheng acupoint, also an important one for martial arts cultivation. After solidifying, it can clear heat and detoxify, refreshing the mind and enhancing the learning and fist training efficiency, an indirect way of speeding up cultivation. Flying swallow sea flying at small success. Lu Chenju felt an itch in his hands he couldn't ignore and went to the training field in the wooden pile area to practice swallow return fist for a while, feeling more and more smooth with his punches. Until his proficiency in the fist technique increased by another 1%. He calculated the time spent and realized it was a whole 10 minutes less than before. The same combination of fist and movement techniques mutually enhance each other significantly. June 2nd, a day off. Early in the morning, Lu Chenju casually checked his WeChat messages and moments, and noticed that Shiruyu had unusually posted on moments. It turned out to be his birthday. Both master and mother had left messages. He also hit like. Looking at the time it was posted, it appeared to have been sent at dawn yesterday, but as Lu Chenju typically browsed moments only every few days, he had only seen it today. After eating, Lu Chenju went to visit Brother Tiger. In Tiger Garden, man and tiger faced each other, neither tiring of the sight. Lu Chenju practiced Tiger Fist for 3 hours, but his state didn't come. He felt an urge to kill another cultist again. For Tiger Form Fist, the act of killing could perhaps become addictive. On the martial arts tree at the base of the leaf for Black Tiger Fist, a bud, white with a hint of black luster, had bloomed ever so slightly. Black Tiger Fist, great success 61%, right arrow great success 62%. The opening of the Shaesheng acupoint has indeed sped up my cultivation. Yesterday it took 208 minutes to improve 1%. Acupoints really are wondrous. With 720 major acupoints in the human body, I wonder how many secrets they contain, waiting to be unearthed by martial arts. Gradually, Lu Chenju realized that there were quite a few factors that could improve the speed of martial arts cultivation. It just required bit-by-bit exploration. Training Field Pile Skill Class. Recently, Yu Zheng has been mainly teaching techniques for the 5th to 13th acupoints, with no students in the class being below the 5th acupoint anymore, which he was very pleased about. Teacher, I'd like to learn about the 7th acupoint. During free time, Lu Chenju came up to seek guidance. Yu Zheng was slightly surprised and asked. The Shaesheng acupoint is solidified. Just opened last night. I remember you started practicing the 6th acupoint a month ago. Not bad at all. You should try to maintain an average of 1 acupoint a month. Doing so, you can hope to touch the first shackles before you turn 20, leaving enough time for breaking more shackles afterward. Martial arts cultivation is about going far and fast. Yu Zheng was very satisfied with Lu Chenju's performance and said solemnly, Today, I will teach you the heavenly pile for opening the fish border acupoint. If you can open this acupoint, lung diseases will hardly affect you, and it even helps with quick martial arts breathing and regaining strength. Pingjiang Sub-Bureau. Lu Feng started his new week of work. Chief, in last month's case involving the cult, our forensic team found something interesting inside the body of the deceased. Come have a look. A police officer came to his office. The two headed to the autopsy room, where 2 bodies were laid out on the tables, one of which still possessed a silver-white prosthetic right leg. It was the one killed by Lu Chenju. Their internal organs were neatly extracted and arranged. The forensic held 2 fist-sized blood and flesh objects in his hand, unidentifiable as any particular organ. For on the surface of these fleshy objects were sparse strands of what seemed like naturally grown hair, and on the surface one could faintly see a blurry, smiling human face, spreading an eerie air around. Lu Feng frowned and asked, Is this a mutated organ? He knew that due to their worship of an evil god, some cultists' internal organs could mutate, but he had never seen such a mutation in a vital organ like the heart before. The forensic replied, Yes, this appears to be a mutated heart. He also couldn't imagine how the man had lived until now. Lu Feng had the forensic showcase the heart from all sides, and from every angle the human face seemed to be looking right at him, revealing a strange smile. He remembered the incident at Tehu Lake and said lightly, Keep the heart well preserved and move both bodies to the containment facility at the outskirts managed by the Bureau of Handling Void Things. Continue the search for other cult members based on clues found on the 2 bodies and their cell phones. This could be a new cult. Yes, boss. Lu Feng rubbed his temples. He went to his office and dialed a senior from Jiangnan University, a well-respected figure with great strength who was still fighting on the forefront against void things and cults. A heart with a human face was surely something the senior had seen before. Author's note, Old Tian is sorting out the plot outline today and revising the upcoming chapters. If there's no regular update by 6 o'clock tonight, it means the revisions aren't done. Kindly don't wait up and we will resume normal updates tomorrow. Sorry / Zeb / Chapter 69. 69 Forget Sorrow Mother. Lu Feng, what's the matter? From the other end of the phone, A magnetic, aged voice came through. Teacher, I need to consult you on something. Lu Fang got straight to the point. His teacher was the famous Jai Chuantong, known as the #1 grandmaster in Hang City, his strength nearing the breakthrough 5th rank. Jai Chuantong was straightforward and blunt, quick to speak and quicker to act. If you were polite and circuitous with him, he'd think you were wasting time and would hang up on the spot. Lu Fang said, Teacher, I've just dealt with the bodies of 2 cultists. During the autopsy, it seemed like their hearts had pathological changes, with vague human faces and hair formations. You've traveled widely and seen much, so please give me some advice. There was silence on the other end for a moment. Jai Chuantong's tone was somewhat grave as he replied. It seems the evil calamity in Sioux City is more severe than I thought, probably because the emergence of the Tehu virtual realm intersection has deepened the connection between ghosts and reality. The heart with a human face you mentioned, I've seen it once. When I first entered the Grandmaster realm and followed Heavenly Master Zhang from the Dragon and Tiger Academy to cure a level 5 virtual disaster in Sun and Moon Province, we stumbled upon a cult hideout in Ali Mountain. The people there were not normal, always wearing strange smiles, chanting, "Forget sorrow, mother, blissful homeland," their thoughts thoroughly corroded by the cult. From your description, the heart you found still has only a vague human face. This is good, meaning that the intersection point in Tehu was discovered timely. The grandmasters from Imei, such as Heavenly King Li and those dispatched by the country, have already contained the situation from worsening. In Ali Mountain, it wasn't a heart anymore. The forensic doctors accompanying our cure team, upon dissecting the bodies, found that these people's hearts had turned into lifelike heads of long-haired women. The features seemed to be merged from countless female faces using AI technology, creating a surreal and unrealistic beauty, all different yet all the same. It wasn't until we found a golden statue in the shrine of the cult hideout that we realized these women's heads matched the statue exactly. In other words, the organs of these cultists were likely mutated by the entity they worshipped. Unable to help himself, Lu Fang asked, Teacher, my strength is weak, and I've never entered the Void Realm. You grandmasters have followed the National Scientific Expedition to explore it. Are there really gods in there? Jai Chuntong suddenly became stern. Gods? What nonsense about gods? Gods are just figments imagined by humans. There are indeed some entities in the Void Realm far beyond our understanding, but they are definitely not gods. Lu Fang, remember this. Gods exist if you believe and don't if you don't. The moment you acknowledge the existence of gods, you might be subtly influenced by them. That's why Dazia, after its establishment, promoted martial arts, aiming for everyone to be as powerful as dragons. Besides Buddha Tao and other legal religions, atheism is widely advocated. The evil calamity in Dazia is one of the least severe in the world. Human spiritual power is also a special energy that we haven't fully tapped into. Some evil entities in the Void Realm survive by feeding on this energy. Strong martial arts and atheism are the divine weapons against these entities. The reason cults have a breeding ground is that some people have not steadfastly embraced materialism and atheism, placing all their hopes for happiness and unease on external forces, thus giving opportunities to these Void Realm entities. Cults are just tools spread by these entities to sow fear and harvest beliefs. Remember, a beautiful tomorrow must be created by our own hands. Lu Fang spoke earnestly. Teacher, I understand now. I have some ideas on how to deal with the evil calamity in Sioux City, including ideological education and cracking down on cults. To truly solve the problem, the Void Realm itself must be dealt with, something that can't be done at this stage. Jai Chuntong said, The 2 cultists you caught are probably followers of the Heart Happiness sect, worshipping that rubbish forget sorrow mother. There might be other names, advocating for followers to become insensitive to all aspects of life, forever maintaining so-called inner joy and optimism. You can start looking for clues from this angle. Lu Fang said, Thank you, teacher. Dragon City High School. Lu Chenju had mastered the heavenly pile for opening the 7th acupoint. After eating lunch, he practiced pile skill from 1 o'clock and didn't stop until 20 past 2. Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Pile, 7th acupoint 1%, right arrow 7th acupoint 2%. After unlocking the 7th acupoint, increasing my ability by even 1% has become increasingly difficult. Starting today, I must dedicate at least 4 hours to practicing pile skill. Master Jai was right. On the path of martial arts, pile skill is both the simplest and the most challenging technique. Other martial arts at least occasionally have moments of inspiration, or one method that can lead to understanding all methods. Pile skill practice has no shortcuts, only hard work. Of course, talent also affects pile skill, but not as much as it does in the practice of other martial arts. As for martial arts supplements, Lu Chenju had never heard of such products that could open acupoints. Even if they existed, they were not something ordinary people could obtain. Ding dong. A text message arrived. Thank you for the birthday wishes, junior brother. You're welcome, it's what fellow disciples do. Is your practice going smoothly lately? Well, he chatted briefly with Shiruyu, and then went back to his busy schedule. Lu Chenju was truly grateful to this senior sister. Like Jai Xuantong, she was a benefactor in his life and had helped him a lot. Time passed day by day. June 5th Training Ground. Be careful, Liu Quanhai. Lu Chenju launched a flying swallow water strike, his left palm striking out sharply downward like a beak. Liu Quanhai extended his hand to block, but soon realized it was just a feint. Lu Chenju stepped forward on his right foot and silently thrust his right fist from beneath his left arm. Swallow penetrates the heavens. Bang! Liu Quanhai stumbled backward on the shaking wooden pile, struggling to maintain his balance. Lu Chenju, seizing the advantage, advanced 3 more steps with flying swallow trims its tail. Liu Quanhai was swept off his feet and thudded to the ground. Damn, I lost again. Liu Quanhai looked confused. He had mastered the Black Tiger Dark Strength yesterday and had broken through to the 4th rank, using his best technique, Black Tiger Fist, yet still could not defeat Lu Chenju, who was using a secondary fist technique. The sweeping body, small success 5%, right arrow small success 6%. Lu Chenju, looking at the proficiency increase displayed by the martial arts tree, said with a smile, My main advantage is still that I reached the 4th rank before you, and my chi blood is significantly higher than yours. It's my lack of skill, thank you. Let's spar again next time. Liu Quanhai left to reflect on the reasons for his defeat. Liu Huan, the top fighter in Class 1, laughingly said, Haha, Lu Chenju wins again. Wen Tianj commented, It's not just about chi blood. Lu Chenju clearly has more battle experience. Liu Quanhai's techniques and strategies are good, but he easily gets flustered in combat. Chen Yuan, practicing the heavenly pile in the distance, silently withdrew his gaze. He was an expert in crane forms and had some understanding of bird form like swallow form. Chenju's swallow form is starting to show some depth. It won't be long before there's hardly anyone in Class 1 who can challenge him. Tiger-swallow dual forms, quite an interesting idea. He favored crane forms, but due to his father being a tiger form martial artist, he had so far focused on tiger and crane dual forms, but he planned to specialize in crane forms in the future. He was curious whether Lu Chenju could persist on the path of tiger-swallow dual forms.